I've been living with the Pixel 9 Pro, sitting here with a case to protect it for about 2 weeks, or maybe a little bit over 2 weeks. We're going to talk about everything that makes this phone the future phone. Let's talk about the design of the phone. This year, the design is brand new. So new that, as you heard me before, I've said that I don't really like it. And the reason why I don't like it is because this looks just like an iPhone. And I was proven right. When I went to work, the IT person came to my desk to install something on my work computer, and my phone was sitting right there on top of the desk. The guy saw the phone and said, "Oh, you switched to an iPhone?" And I said, "No, I didn't. This is a Pixel. This is the newest Pixel phone. This is a Pixel 9 Pro." And he looked at it and he was like, "Wow, really?" And so I was proven right that it looks like an iPhone. Now, the Pixel 9 Pro is retailing for $999 at the base model, which is 128 gigs. I wish that they will get rid of the 128 gigs because that's very, very little storage. You can go through 128 gigs really fast. This particular model is a 256 gig version. Pixel 9 Pro can reach up to 3000 nits of peak brightness. It comes packed with the Tensor G4, which is the newest Tensor chip. This is most likely the last phone we're going to have with a Samsung chip. Yes, the Tensor G4 is a Samsung chip. Most likely next year's device, the Pixel 10, is going to come with a Google proprietary chip. So I am looking forward to that device because we should technically see big changes in performance, especially when it comes to AI. The device is going to have 16 gigs of RAM, and a lot of that RAM is there in order to help you with all those AI features because yes, this phone is supposed to be the new next wave of AI phones. This is supposed to be pretty much the start of what AI devices are going to become in the future. I mean, the Pixel 8 Pro technically was that first step. The Pixel 9 Pro is 100% AI. We'll see how that works. Now, the Pixel 9 Pro is a small phone. This has a 6.3-inch Super Actua 2 display, LTPO OLED display with Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on top of it for protection. The phone is a lot smaller than I was expecting, as I said when I did the unboxing. The Pixel 9 Pro XL is what the Pixel 9 Pro used to be. So if you're looking to continue with the size of the Pixel Pro devices that have come in the past, Pixel 9 Pro XL is the one you want to get. The phone has a 20:9 aspect ratio and it gets up to 120 Hz refresh rates. It comes with a 4700 milliamp hour battery, and the battery actually did pretty well on a full day's test. Right now is 11:08 a.m. I'm at 100% battery. I'm at work. I'm in my office. Yes, I have to go to the office nowadays. I'm going to use the phone all day long without charging it and see how long it will last on a regular work day. Let's get started. I'm doing an update on the battery life right now. It is 2:31, so almost 3 hours since I did the first part of this. Obviously at work, I've been watching mostly Netflix while working, not really watching, but I have it in the background. Since I did that, I watched one YouTube video and then I watched like 3 or 4 episodes of a TV show. And right now the battery is sitting at 47%. Also keep in mind that I have the headphones, the Bluetooth headphones connected to the phone. So of course that's going to also affect the battery life. I'm also using this opportunity to test out the front-facing camera. So right now, front-facing camera, 4K, and I'm using the enhanced audio to see how that works. So I will check back in later. All right, here I am with another update. Right now I have the camera at 4K 60 frames per second, which gets rid of the enhanced speech. Before I had it at 4K 30 frames per second front-facing camera. I'm recording the sound through the phone. I am on my way home right now to finish the rest of my workday. So right now is, let's see, 3:32 p.m. and battery is at 27%. I watched another episode of the TV show that I've been watching on Netflix. Then I had music playing, and so we're talking from, what was it, 11:08 this morning when I started this to now, 3:32 p.m. I'm at 26% right now. I am listening to something right now. I'm listening to a podcast while I'm talking to you. I'm gonna say that it's going so, but there's 26% yet. I have to drive home. I'm going to use the GPS on my phone. I'm going to be using Bluetooth in the car. We'll see how that goes. Another update on my way home. Right now, I'm at 11% battery-wise. It is 4:14 actually now. So 11%. We started around 11 o'clock in the morning with a full battery. My next update will be to let you know when the phone ran out of battery. The phone ended up dying at 4:46 p.m. We started the test at 11:08 a.m. So that puts us at 5 hours and 38 minutes. I will say it's not the greatest, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I also shot all the updates that you saw and reviewed the videos after I did each of the updates. So with all of that, I will say that it was a heavy use day for the phone. So I will say for heavy use, 5 hours and 38 minutes, kind of on the low end. I will prefer it to last between 6 and 7 hours on a heavy use time. Now let's talk about the cameras. Pixel 9 Pro comes with a 50 megapixel wide camera, a 48 megapixel ultra wide with macro focus, and a 48 megapixel 5x telephoto lens camera. Now the cameras have some improvements. The front-facing camera for selfie pictures, that's a lot better than the previous camera. This camera is a lot better with color and a lot sharper than it was before, which can be a little annoying because you can see that it's very processed, and giving you all that sharpness in that image can show things in your face that you don't necessarily want to accentuate. The zoom in this camera is crazy. As you can see in these pictures, I was very far away from the cargo ship and it still showed you that image of that ship pretty well. Now what I also like very much is that they have refined the movement when you're trying to get the right angle of the shot that you want. So you know, when you have a camera that you're very zoomed in, any little movement on that camera makes it go crazy and wobbly. They have made it so any movement that you make is very small and very tight, and it feels like it has magnets, if that makes sense, where when you move the camera to one place, it kind of focuses and like locks into that area that you're in, making it very hard to move the camera around all crazy. So it makes it easier to take those pictures when you're very far away and zoomed in from very far away to what you're trying to do. That I liked very much, and it was very helpful because my hands, you know, move a lot sometimes, and so it was very easy to get the right picture that I wanted to get with that. Macro images were really good, as you can see here. This is the picture of a plant that I took from afar, and then here's what it looks like when I did the macro. Looks beautiful. The portrait mode on this phone did great for me. I think it's still as good as last year, maybe a little better, but I couldn't really tell big differences. It did a lot better at separating me from the background and not necessarily blurring parts of me or the backpack that I had when I took these portrait images, but it didn't work as well when I took pictures of Benson the dog. As you can see in these images, when it's just face, it does a great job. You can see there the difference between the background and him. But when I did a full body portrait, as you can see, it blurred the bottom of his body, and not necessarily because it could be considered an X-rated picture, but because it didn't recognize that the dog's body continued towards the bottom, and it didn't do very well at capturing that. I took a couple of pictures the same way, and they both came looking the same. Video, there's been some improvements and there's been some things that I wasn't very happy with. Okay, here we are at 4K 24 frames per second, testing out the camera at 0.5 zoom to get an idea of what it looks like. It's kind of windy today here in Pasadena today. And here we are using the one zoom. I'm using the mic in the phone with the enhanced speech feature. I have headphones on, but the sound isn't going through the headphones, so I'm using the mic on the phone. Let's move to the next one. All right, we go back to 4K 24 frames per second. This time we're doing that 2 times. And I usually do this test to see what the camera looks like while you're moving around. Right now, walking the street, there's a lot of sound, like somebody playing music behind me. bus going by. And so this way we can get an idea of how well the mic, camera work in a noisy environment. Now, as you can see on the first video, when I'm talking directly to the camera, it picks up the people who are walking by a lot louder than what I am saying. And it should be the other way. Now, I was not using the headphones for microphones. I was using the microphone on the phone. So it should have picked up my voice better. It should have prioritized my voice over the people who are walking by, especially when I was using the voice enhance feature. It did a great job at differentiating the background from me and creating that bokeh effect. Now, this wasn't using the blurred effect, which is a different effect. I like that. I think that's an improvement on it, but I think I will deduct points from it because of how the microphone worked. Technically, it should do a better job at differentiating voice versus background noise and music. It did improve a little bit on the blur effect. The blur effect, pretty much what it does is you can point to a subject while the background is blurred. It did an okay job because, as you can see in some of these images, it blurs my hair. My hair is flowing because of wind, and it does blur some of my hair, and technically it shouldn't do that. Now, I'm going to say the night side is improved. Night side looks a lot better. I don't think we're ever going to get to the point where the picture doesn't look a little blurry and noisy because of the low light, but it did a great job at showing me when there was no light. I am literally in the shade of a tree at night, and when you're looking at this image, the sky looks like it's like around 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, which wasn't. It was literally the middle of the night. This must have been like 9, 10 o'clock at night when I took this picture. Now, Pixel 9 Pro ships with Android 14, which is the Android version that everybody has right now. Now, that doesn't mean that we aren't getting some new special features on the Pixel 9 Pro. The Pixel 9 Pro is getting some exclusive things that other devices don't have. I'm going to say yet, but we'll have at some point. Starting with the Pixel Weather app. Is all brand new for Google phones. It's colorful, gives you your hourly forecast, and down here you can actually change the widgets and accommodate them the way that you want to make them, is what Google does. Now, the Pixel Weather app does have integration with AI because, of course, why wouldn't it? This is the AI phone after all. It's like very irrelevant information from AI, but it's there. The other thing that we have still here is the thermometer right there. I do not know why we have it. That it was a gimmicky thing that came out on the Pixel 8 Pro, and you were like, okay, I see it. I don't know what is doing here or what the purpose is. I cannot think of any time that I've used it besides when I did the review, but for some reason it comes back on the Pixel 9 Pro. I can think of anybody who's going to be disappointed if you don't bring it back on the Pixel 10, except maybe the people who decided to put it on the phone to begin with. Another feature that this phone is going to have is call notes. Call notes literally is recording your phone call. It creates a script of the phone call and then can summarize the phone call. Now, don't be afraid. If somebody tries to record the call, this will actually tell you. It gives you the option to activate it. Once you activate it, it announces to the whole phone call, everybody who might be on that phone call, that this call is being recorded. So if you need to do something like that, you have that feature available. New on the Pixel 9 Pro also is the screenshots app, because we didn't have screenshots on Google Photos. Yeah, we did, right? We did. But Google has decided that because of the power of AI, they're going to separate your screenshots into its own app. And the whole idea of the screenshots app is that this has information that you're going to refer to later. So for example, I have this recipe here that I took screenshots of, and so it pretty much typed up, as you can see here, that information that's right here on the top. You put it down here again, and then I can add notes or add it to my collection. I can do a voice note if I want to, but having the screenshots on a separate app doesn't make much sense to me. This could have been put on Google Photos. Google Photos has a folder that's called screenshots, where all your screenshots go to. So I don't know why they didn't add these AI features to the screenshot folder on Google Photos. It just doesn't make sense. Now let's talk about the main feature on this phone, which is AI. This whole device is created around AI. Specifically, Gemini. Gemini is Google's AI version. I do have my issues with it. Let me talk about the good parts of Gemini. Gemini can do pretty much almost everything that your dumb assistant can do. And that is setting up alarms, setting up reminders, giving you directions for places that you want to go to. It's not necessarily as automatic as the assistant is in that department, but it does it. It does very good at having conversations with you. Okay, Google. I would like to buy a dog that doesn't shed too much or at all. What do you recommend?
There's no truly non-shedding dog, but these breeds shed minimally and are often recommended for people with allergies. Poodle. Highly intelligent and comes in 3 sizes. Standard.
But I want a dog that actually is going to be playful and smart, besides all the shedding stuff that I was just talking about.
You're in luck. Many low-shedding breeds are also playful and smart. Here are a few that fit the bill. Poodle. Besides being virtual...
Why are you so hell-bent on recommending me poodles? I don't like poodles. What else do you have?
No problem. It seems like poodles aren't your cup of tea. Let's explore some other playful and smart low-shedding breeds. Bichon Frise. These cheerful little dogs are...
I'm sorry, but these 2 dogs that you showed me first are very small. I don't like very small dogs. Also, are you sure that these dogs will be low shedding since they have very long coats? Wouldn't that make it that they shed more?
You're right. The Bichon Frise and Coton de Tuileries are quite small, and you're smart to be curious about the long coats and shedding. While it seems counterintuitive, those long coats actually contribute to less shedding. The hair is finer and grows continuously.
As you can see there, it talks a lot, gives you a lot of information. It is pretty good if it's something that you want to do. There's another feature where it doesn't give you all this textual context and it's more conversational. So if we go into the conversation part of it, hey Gemini, I am talking to you because I am doing a review with about the Pixel 9, and I just wanted I wanted you to tell me why you're such a good feature on the Pixel 9 Pro.
Sure, I can help with that. Here's a review of the Pixel 9 Pro. First off...
No. I don't want a review of the Pixel 9 Pro. I want you to tell me why you are such a good addition to the Pixel 9 Pro.
Gotcha. Sounds like we got off on the wrong foot there. Gemini is a large language model, which means I can access and process information from all over the web to provide you with summaries of factual topics or create stories. Think of me as a supercharged version of your smartphone search function. But instead of getting links to web pages, I provide you with summaries of the information I find. On a Pixel 9 Pro, you might use Gemini for things like getting summaries of news articles.
Hey, actually, what I've noticed is that when I talk to you sometimes and I have you read articles for me, you make the decision to give me summaries instead of actually reading the article, even though I've asked you to read the article. Why do you do that?
Reasons why I might summarize an article instead of reading it directly. First, reading an entire article out loud can take a really long time, especially if it's a long one. Summarizing it lets me give you the key points and save us both some time. So
as you can see there, Gemini does a pretty good job at talking and finding information and all that. But that isn't true. It doesn't work like that. As you saw there, when I wanted to read articles and stuff like that, that is something that I actually like doing myself. I use my phone in the mornings to read me articles while I'm getting ready. I usually call my assistant, I pull up an article and I'm like, read the article out loud. And it does it. Reads it. I close the article, open a new one, and so on. This doesn't do that. Every time that I've tried to make it read an article, it does a freaking summary. Even if you tell it to just read the article as is without summaries, it will still get stuck and give you a summary. As it said, if the article is too long, it makes an arbitrary decision to actually summarize the article instead of reading it. And then what you have to do in order to have it read the article is copy and paste the text from the article into Gemini in order for it to read it. But if you copy and paste that whole article, it still isn't going to read the text. Even if you are prompting it to read the text, it will still summarize it. So what do you have to do? You have to cut it in chunks, copy and paste it into it to read it. You have to make sure that you let it know that you don't want it to summarize it. You don't want it to give you an opinion. You don't want it to give you an analysis of it. Now, sometimes it decides I'm a language model. I cannot read. Now, why does this happen? I don't know. But to me, if this is supposed to be smarter than my assistant, then it should be able to do more than the assistant, not less. This whole idea of Google selling Gemini as the second coming of technology hasn't really been proven to me in my personal use. It is great at finding information if you're looking for information. I sometimes don't need information like that, and I don't need an AI to have a conversation with me for hours on end about what I'm trying to look for. I'm the type of person who looks for the information that he needs, gets what he needs, and moves on. This becomes pretty annoying. The other issue that I encounter is that this thing couldn't find movies in my area. Basic task, a basic task. When it will find movies that were either a year or 2 years old. It wouldn't even find movies that were current of this year. Can you tell me what movies are playing around me? It's taking a long time to find that information. Should be really easy.
I cannot tell you what movies are playing in theaters around you, but I can share some information about new and upcoming movies. Bhul Bhulaiya in America, Brave New World.
I want to know what movies are playing around me.
Here are some resources to help you find movies playing near you.
I don't want resources. I want to know what movies are playing around me.
I don't have access to real-time movie schedules. You can find this in...
Can you tell me where Joker 2 is playing?
Joker 2, also known as Joker, Folie et Deux, is likely still playing in theaters near you.
Can you give me the times for Joker 2 at Universal City Walk?
I do not have access to real-time information, including movie schedules. To get the exact showtimes for Joker, Folie et Deux, at Universal City Walk, I provide you with some general information. AMC Theaters website. Visit the AMC Theaters website, linked to amctheaters.com.
So as you can see, it has issues giving information. To me, giving you movie times should be something that it should be able to do without any issues. This whole hit and miss situation is what gives me pause about how well this can do and how much cell phone companies are relying on adding this to our devices. Let's see how it does for restaurants. Hey, I'm looking to eat some really good cheap pizza. Where can I go around Los Angeles?
Here are some places to get pizza in Los Angeles. Valentino's. This restaurant is located just miles away from you.
How come you can tell me restaurant information but not movie information?
You're right to point that out. I can access and process real-time information, including things like restaurant menus, hours, and reviews, which are constantly updated online. Movie information is a bit trickier. Here's why. Showtimes vary. Movie showtimes change very frequently depending on the date.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense because you and me know the movie information times are available all the time and they do change in a weekly basis most likely, but they're usually the same times all week long, right? And also depends in the movie, but it's not information that is constantly changing in a daily, hourly basis that it will make it so hard for this to find that information. That's kind of how Gemini works right now. As you can see, it's not great, it's not the best. I don't think it's ready to replace the Google Assistant either. But of course, this phone has other AI features because otherwise, why would you need all that RAM? And they have talked about adding extra AI features to this phone that should be able to make your life easier and help you do more. I personally don't see that. I mean, there are some kind of fun things on this. For example, that Add Me feature, which makes it that you can take a group picture and then add yourself. So for example, if I'm taking a picture of you and your friends, right? And I'm also supposed to be in that picture, but we don't have anyone to take that picture. I will take the picture. Everybody will get out of the frame. We will give the phone to someone else. I will stand and then people will direct me pretty much where to stand so they take the picture by myself. The phone is going to do all of its AI magic and is going to stitch me into the picture so it looks like I took the picture with everybody else when of course I didn't. Is this super AI magic? I don't know. I think that, technically Photoshop can do can do that. I think this is a feature that maybe could have been done at some point without this whole AI hullabaloo, but it is supposed to be an AI feature. Now let's look at this picture, for example. It's a picture that I took when I was on my way to work. You can see the sign here all the way back here. It says, I think 110 North, and I don't know what that says. I know it says East, but I can make numbers. There's supposed to be an AI feature here that is supposed to enhance this with the magic of AI. So if I go to Tools, Zoom Enhance, and I zoom all the way in here, and I press Crop and Enhance, it's working its magic, as you can see there, and then it's going to show me how it made this much better. I personally think that this is worse than it was before, and I'm going to show you how I know that, because when I press here, it's going to show me the original. The original is readable. This, you lose the word North, you lose the number 110, so it's not the best. I don't know what the point of it is, but I guess if you want to tell the computer, enhance. Now the other thing that we have here for pictures is you can imagine anything and change the picture. So if I go here on the left hand side and I click on the little colorful icon, now here I can pick something and I can make changes to this picture. So I'm going to pick the moving truck. There we go. And now I'm going to reimagine, and here I can write whatever I want. So reimagine as, I'm going to say horse. I'm going to click next, and I guess we'll see what this is going to do. But it's working, it's working, it's working, it's magic. Technically, it is going to change my image to something. Okay. So it added the picture of a horse in a truck. So it changed the truck completely. This looks more like a bus with a picture of a horse on it. What's my next choice? My next choice is, oh, it actually added a horse. What is wrong with the horse's mouth? Okay, a horse. That doesn't look bad. That looks kind of real. Two horses. I don't know what's going on. That looks weird. Let's look at this one. Okay, this is... What is wrong with the horse's head? Ooh, that's weird. It changed the truck to a bus and it put a horse in front of the bus. So that gives you an idea of the new AI features that clearly are not ready for prime time. And last but not least, we have Pixel Studio. Pixel Studio is where you can go and imagine pictures using prompts. As you can see here, I created a prompt of dog running in a field of pretzels, and this is what it gave me. It looks pretty realistic for being an AI generated image. But then we have this next one, which is a dog running in a field of tall pretzels, and it made these weird pretzels. The dog's still running in the middle, but you can see the idea, right? You can build different images, you have a history of what you've been building, and then you can turn it into other things. So then you have that phone icon there that looks like it's dropping or something. I don't really know what it is. You have these suggestions to change the style. So you're going to see the different styles that you can make your creation in order to change it. And it's also going to save that within your history of what you just made. So here you have the different things that is changing that image from the original to depending on the style that I'm picking. So that is Pixel Studio, where you can go and make your own creations if you want to do so. So if I had to rate the Pixel 9 Pro on a scale of 1 to 10, I will give it a 7. And the reason is, one, the design is not as good as previous designs. For example, the Pixel 7 Pro has a distinctive design. The design is different than anything else. This phone, once again, looks just like an iPhone. And that to me is points down. The other part of this, which is supposed to be the biggest selling point, is the AI features. These AI features technically can be getting on any phone that is Android based. It loses a little bit of its value right there. If you have the Pixel 8 Pro from last year, you can download Gemini and do exactly the same things that I've been doing on this phone. Things that you're missing out on is the Add Me feature, which you know is coming at some point, the reimagining an image, okay, and the Pixel Studio, where you can make creations by typing things in it. These extra little AI features, inconsequential. Android, inconsequential, because this also has Android 14, which is also on the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 7 Pro, and the Pixel 6 Pro as well. Pixel 6 Pro, I don't know if it's going to get Android 15. I think it's at the end of its rope for the updates. But any other phone has Android 14 right now, and it will be getting Android 15 when Android 15 is released for the Pixel 9 Pro. Because of all those reasons, I will say hold on to buy this phone. Maybe don't buy it. Just buy the 8 if you have the 8, keep the 8 and wait for the 10. If you are looking to buy a phone, buy the 8 and don't buy the 9 Pro because you're really not missing on that much. Save it for next year's phone, for the Pixel 10. The Pixel 10, because it's the 10th one, because it's going to have its own chip, because they're going to have used all of us who own the Pixel 9 for improving AI, is actually going to be the phone that is going to be worth the money. What do you think about the Pixel 9 Pro or the Pixel 9 lineup? Do you have any of these phones? Have you used Gemini by yourself in other devices, if not on the Pixel 9? Let me know in the comment section. Also, if you have any other questions about the review, let me know in the comment section. That's it for me. Go ahead and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, it really helps the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have new videos. And thank you very much for watching.